Hello and welcome back to Eastern Europe 1259. And indeed, we're here in a town because we need to sell. Yes, we need to sell. So I just wanted to show you this because obviously, you know, I don't want to start the next episode and be like, oh yes, we now have 10 billion gold and you have no idea how I got it. So yeah, I'm just going to show you that we're getting 1500 from this. And we do obviously have a bow and some arrows that we purchased in the previous episode. I will be attempting, if I can. Not sure how. I really don't know how to level bows when we have RBM installed. RBM is a bit of a strange beast because, well, as we've seen in the very first episode when we did the most arena fights, we actually had significant leveling gains whenever we would block something or hit someone's shield. And it's completely different for bows because you make a really difficult shot and you don't really get that much experience. So I do think that there's definitely something, there's some secret that we need to work out, you know, some kind of thing that we need to work out here. Anyway, this is the village, as you can see right here. Can I actually loot? Can't recruit this. I haven't met this. Really? Okay, I have to meet these guys. Okay, I have to meet these guys first. That's actually quite funny. All right, so let's just talk to him. There we go. Hello there, sir. Yes. Can you tell me about nearby settlements? No, I actually don't. I don't care about any of that. Oh, have we met them now? Yeah, there we go. We are meeting them. There we go. Meet this guy. There we go. All right. Very nice. And then the last one. Fantastic. Okay, so that should technically be working now, and I should be able to... Yep, there we go. Now we can recruit people how and when we like. And this, yeah, that's going to be a pretty significant thing here. Okay, so let's actually pray. I just want to see what happens when we do that. Ah, look at this. Devotion to Baltic paganism increased by 1. Yeah, there you go. All right, and our relation is increased with some guy here. Yeah, there we go, this guy. So that's actually pretty cool. I would love it if we could actually do a quest. If we could do a quest here, that would be fantastic because we could potentially level up our relation with these guys and maybe get access to more people. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. This is very, very cool. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so okay, so basically I can recruit from these places here. Okay, so this is actually going to be a lot more difficult than I anticipated. I did not know, and this is something that you got to know, right? I'm not very familiar with this time in history, okay? I think you could probably tell that from the fact that I didn't have the map the right orientation. Let's face it, you know. And also, obviously, as I said in the first episode, I have no idea. I have no idea about, you know, what these particular factions become in the future. So if I do say anything that is a little bit, well, a lot incorrect, then, you know, just know that I don't mean anything by it. I'm not trying to be annoying or anything. I just do not know. I just don't know that stuff. So yeah, anyway, these guys, right? So it looks like the red faction, these guys right here are the ones that we will be able to recruit from. And I think that's what we're going to have to be looking for here. I have 11 days with no food now. Okay, so okay, let's see. Okay, am I going to be able to tackle these guys? I don't know, but we're going to recruit that deserter. This deserter doesn't level up. Okay. Kind of unfortunate that he doesn't level up. It would be kind of nice if he did, but he's probably going to end up dying sometime soon anyway. I mean, you know, that's just generally how it goes. And we're going to go for nomadic traditions here. I mean, how can I say no to that, right? You know, it's way too good for us. And I think we're probably going to go for Bodkin here, because despite the fact that, well, I don't really care too much about 10% armor penetration. I do feel as though 10% is not that much, you know. 10% is not that much, but it's better than minus 50% movement speed penalty while reloading because I'm on a horse, so, you know, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we obviously did that, and let's go in. Yes. Okay, so we actually have a much larger combat strength than ever before now. So this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be pretty good, you know, it's going to be pretty good. Now, I will be attempting to, as I say, oh, it's raining. Oh, that's bad. Oh, well, never mind. Yep. I will be attempting to level my bows, but as I just said, it's raining. And as far as I'm aware, if it is the same as what I think it is, then it is going to be extremely difficult for us to actually hit anything when it's raining, because the accuracy is... Wow, okay, yeah. Someone actually said, by the way, thank you very much for this, someone who is an actual archer in real life has actually said that arrows do fly like this in real life. They do actually fly like this. You do have to aim a little bit downwards because of the way that the bow works. So very, very cool. Thank you very much for letting me know about that. I'm learning a lot about, you know, historical things, geographical things, and also archery, apparently. So yeah, obviously this is a feature of RBM, by the way. So if you want a little bit more historical realism when it comes to bows and archery itself, then just go and get yourself RBM and have a grand old time. Potentially getting used to the fact that you have to aim at the ground. At least for me personally. I don't actually mind that. Once you get used to it, it's actually kind of cool. Because I can actually hit quite a few headshots this way without really having to super worry hardcore about the accuracy. Because as you can see, look at this, I'm actually hitting neck shots almost all the time here. And, well, I'm actually kind of surprised how effective this really is. Because, yes, okay, fine, we know for a fact that, you know, bows on a horse, it's pretty obvious that it's going to be kind of effective, especially against a band of looters. These guys do not have shields. It's pretty easy to actually hit them with things, but I was kind of thinking that bows would be kind of useless until we get to 75, because 75 is, I believe, when you still have a major accuracy penalty thanks to the horse archery changes that were implemented about a year ago in the base game of Bannerlord. If you didn't know that, I think it was a year ago. It might have been longer, but basically they made it so that low-level horse archers were not as effective. Because basically what you could do is in the base game you could go and get Khuzait units, and you could literally just go, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just rampage throughout the entire map just with a bunch of low-level horse archers, and they were very effective. And the changes effectively made that not as strong, right? Not as strong. And I 100% understand what they were trying to do there, but it did make bows, in my opinion, a lot less enjoyable for me personally. But obviously, I don't know. Maybe I was being a little bit too harsh on that. I don't know, but I do actually find them quite fun right now. So I'm very pleased to say that, because, as I said, I was worried, you know, I was worried. Generally, whenever I'm like, oh, you know, I'm going to start a new series, I'm going to see what's going on with what kind of mods we're going to use. And obviously, because we're using RBM, I was thinking, okay, we're gonna try, you know, something a little bit different. And, well, a one-handed, I don't usually go for one-handed that much. Usually it's either a secondary weapon. Very nice relation, by the way, that we're getting nearby here. This is actually perfect for what we need. You don't necessarily need to go for a task or anything like that. You could potentially just go and be like, oh yeah, actually, this is great. We're gonna have relation up the wazoo just from defeating some, you know, nearby bandits. That's actually really, really cool. Anyway, we're gonna get some stealth bonus right here. Obviously, here's the thing, I haven't seen a bandit hideout or anything like that just yet, but I am very much hoping that we're gonna find one, because let's face it, being able to sneak up and go stabby stab on some people, that's gonna be pretty fun, right? Whoa, wrapped, what ripped wrapped shoes. Apparently these are insane. Wait, no, never mind. This is much better. No, apparently this is much better. Never mind. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they're much better for stealth. Okay, that's pretty crazy. I was not anticipating that, but that just goes to show, you know, you want to check everything, right? Because I was blown away by that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, we'll take all that loot. Thanks very much. And yeah, so as I said, very surprised that bows are actually really, really good. I mean, obviously against looters they are good. Maybe not so good against someone that actually has a shield, because shields are obviously still going to be relatively, well, I'm not a terribly big fan. Let's just say that. Could go for minus 50% accuracy penalty while rotating, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's kind of cool. Anyway, we can recruit from here as well, but we haven't met these guys yet, so Is there some way that I can meet these guys all at the same time so I don't have to go through? Yeah, here we go. That's it. There you go. I can just pay 150 and then immediately, boom, there you go, done. I've met everyone. So that's really, really nice. That's another quality of life improvement that I very much appreciate. Because let's face it, who wants to go through the entire menu, right? And it's nice that there's a small cost associated with it as well, because, well, sometimes you don't really want there to be like a thing that where you just go, you know, I'm just going to get this for free or something. You know, it's kind of nice that they do the cost here. Okay, so unfortunate for me, I don't seem to have the ability to do this just yet. I'm going to need 10 relation to recruit from here. Oh, and perfect. Wait a minute. These guys didn't level? Is it because I didn't put them in? I didn't literally. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, okay, fine. I did not charge them in, obviously. I did kind of charge them in, but not as effectively as I possibly could have. So I think what we'll do this time around is we'll probably try to weaken the opponent up a little bit, and then we'll get our forces to charge in there so that they can actually gain some experience. I was kind of being a little bit selfish there because I was very excited to try out the new bow, and we actually did pretty well with it. So I'm kind of pleased. I'm kind of pleased with myself about that, you know, because you know, I'm not so good with it. Not so good with the bow anymore. I used to be a lot better, but nowadays, well, yeah, as I said, nowadays I'm a little bit out of practice, especially considering the fact that, you know, we've got this this crazy horse archer thing going on, and we're actually not doing too badly now. So I think we can kind of get back into the whole archery thing. Oh, that was such a nice hit. Did you see that? We actually got him right through the face. That was amazing. Okay, so the question is, do I actually need to help my guys at all? Should I just tell them to charge in? I don't know whether I mean, I kind of do need to help them because they're going to suck otherwise, aren't they? Aren't they going to suck? It feels to me like they will, because they're just peasants, right? They're just peasants and volunteers and stuff like that. But no, they actually seem to be doing a good job. Surprisingly so. I guess it's not too bad. I mean, we are facing... Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's actually friendly fire even with melee attacks. Yeah, that's something I need to be careful of. I can't just randomly flail about like I normally do. Yeah, that's going to be funny. Because I'm literally going to be like, yes. Because you know me. If you've seen some of my series beforehand, then you'll know that sometimes I, very much on purpose by accident, sometimes maybe randomly shoot on purpose, maybe not, my own people. And yeah, that is obviously by mistake. But yeah, anyway, let's just take a quick look at what we can get here, because obviously we took a look at this in the previous episode, but I think we need to... do we want to go for bows? Do we want to go for archers here? If we want to go for archers, that might be the play. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's really the play, but we'll try it out and we'll see what happens, because maybe it's going to suck and then we're going to have to pivot over to, you know, infantry or something like that. But yeah, we did actually get a pretty significant amount of relation with these guys. Oh yeah, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. We do need to speak to the owner of the village. Hello. What is going on here? Hello there, sir. All right. Deserters? These guys... What? These guys are only slightly better than us. I'm a little bit... I'm suspicious about this, okay? It's raining, by the way. It's also nighttime, so this may very well be bad. We might have a bad time here. They also have a horse archer, as far as I'm aware. Do they? No, they just have a piece of cavalry. And what is this? This is a skirmisher. Yeah, that is a skirmisher right there. Okay, so we're going to have to do something about that as well. I'm actually not sure what I'm going to try, because this is the first time I've actually gone in against an enemy cavalry unit. May very well be significantly powerful. Yes, pommel hits, pommel hits. Okay, let's not do that. There we go. That's a nice hit right there. Okay, I should probably try to focus on the enemy's cavalry, so I will try to do that. This guy's got a... yeah, I knew it. If it hit me in the face, that would have been me dead. So let's try not to have that happen again. He is a Baltic young noble. Okay, he shouldn't be too bad for us to deal with, right? Okay, not so bad. This is bad, though. The infantry coming towards us right now, that's really, really bad. Ooh. Okay, it's kind of harsh. I did not need to hit that shield, that's for sure. Okay, good. Nice. Just get a little bits of damage. Just a little bit of damage here and there. That's all we need. Let's tell our forces to charge in here. Maybe we want to actually stay in shield wall. I mean, we don't have shields. That's the funny thing. We don't have shields, so staying in shield wall may be pointless. I don't know, but seems... oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I killed one of my own people. Isn't that... That is hilarious. I actually like the fact that there is a little bit of friendly fire here, because that does mean that I'm going to have to be so much more careful in the future about how I'm attacking, because you know, usually in a situation, I can't imagine what sieges are going to be like, but usually in that situation you just randomly just slash around and you're completely fine, because obviously, you know, friendly units don't get affected by your attacks. But in this case, they are. And this is gonna... it's gonna be quite amusing, actually, later on down the line. I'm kind of happy that I'm not going for a two-handed, because you can imagine me going into a siege, being like, oh yeah, look at this. We could go straight on in here, do massive damage. And we can, you know, flail about, just doing huge amounts of crazy cool cleaving attacks. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh yeah, I just killed 10 of my own people in one swipe. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Anyway, there we go. We leveled up a couple of people. We're getting not anything, actually. Surprisingly enough, not getting any particular upgrades. I'm actually quite weirded out by that, because usually, I mean, deserters, right? They're deserters, so you'd think that they'd actually have relatively good gear, but not so much in this case. Okay, so first of all, I should probably go over to... I should probably go down here again, shouldn't I? That's what I'll do. We will go down here. We'll try to recruit some more people. Am I moving super slowly for some reason? No, it's just the weather, I think. And my prisoners, of course. Yes, I do need to sell the prisoners. That's one of the main reasons why I generally tend to be a bit careful when I'm in enemy territory about recruiting or capturing prisoners. Because then you're going to have situations like this. How long does it take for them to actually come back? Yeah, I actually don't know. Because usually, I think they would have been back by now. So I'm kind of wondering... Ah, there we go. Okay, these guys are back. So I assume that this particular village has just been recruited from. So maybe we're going to be lucky. I don't know. Maybe we're going to be lucky, and maybe I can just go over here just now, and then we'll have more people. Cross fingers? No. Okay. Not going to get particularly lucky in that regard. Okay. So, yeah. I think the best course of action... there's no town nearby. Kind of sad. We've got some raids over here. For some reason, we don't have... Wait, is that a village? That doesn't look like a village, but I guess it must be. Yeah. No, it is. Okay, yeah. Whoa, wow, they're really close by to each other as well. That's pretty crazy. Okay. And then, oh, wow, yeah, there's a lot of extra villages here that I did not uncover beforehand. Oh, interesting. Oh, hello, Curonian Raiders. Okay, we probably don't want to fight those guys, do we? Do we? 26 of them. Ooh, these guys remind me of Sea Raiders. I actually wonder whether they are... gonna be like that. Let's just try to get this Baltic levy to join us. Okay, so let me just very quickly take a look. Curonians. There we go. All right, so they're tier 3s. They have 90 in one-handed. That's actually kind of impressive. They have 130 with the veteran level, and then they have 170 with the elite level. And these guys have javelins, which are, of course, going to be very strong, and especially considering they have 10 of these. How much throwing skill do they have? 108. I don't think they have the additional ammunition just yet. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But yeah, they are using some extremely good shields as well. There's only one elite axeman. They have 3 veterans and 9 regulars. And that seems to be a relatively standardized formation for them. So what I'm going to do is... No, never mind. I was going to go in here, but the Lord says no. Lord says no. Yeah, exactly. The Lord says no. Okay, let's actually see. Do you think I'm going to be able to defeat them? We might be able to. Okay, let's go for frugal. That's going to reduce the wages cost and the recruitment cost, despite the fact that we don't really need that super badly. All right, here we go. There's only 13 of them, but yet we are still half combat strength with them, which just tells you everything that you need to know. I'm kind of a bit worried about this because we have no friendly thief within striking distance of us right now, which means that we will have some huge problems. Okay, so the question is, do I want to go with this? Do I actually have any bow increases? Yes, we have 2, 3, yeah. 3 bow increases and a handful of melee increases, but we only have 6 archers. So the question is, do we want to provide our bonuses to our archers or our infantry? I'm thinking probably the infantry. They're probably going to be the thing that will kill mostly because the enemy has shields. It depends because obviously the AI, with RBM, they're very, very good at their accuracy. They're very good at hitting headshots and stuff like that. One-handed skill. Yeah, no, I think this is good. I think we're actually going to go with infantry here because we're giving 30 one-handed skill, right? 30 one-handed skill to our opponents, to our allies, and indeed, I think that's going to be a significant benefit for them. Despite the fact that they probably only have, like, what, 20 or 30 one-handed skill as it is to begin with. Which is really bad, you know, but if we can double that, I think that's really useful. Okay, I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here because these guys are going to try to murder me with their thrown weapons. A pommel hit is not good enough, sir. We do not want a pommel hit. We don't want that. What is going on here? Why am I sucking so hard with that? Ah, these guys have great armor. Okay, that's the reason. Oh, all right. Okay, that was impressive. That was actually some pretty nice damage right there. Kind of surprising. Okay, so I might have to get out my bow here. Nice headshot. Yes. There we go. Nice headshot. Another one. Wow, okay. That was technically a face hit, but unfortunately he has a good helmet. Okay, here we go. Ah, yes, here we go, here we go. Now they're going to start throwing their javelins. Don't get hit in the face, Bruce. Don't get hit in the face. Nice. We knocked him down. Do a nice little bit of a hit there. This guy is going to be... These guys are going to be very, very tricky for us because they do have much better armor than we are used to fighting. Obviously, we're used to fighting just random looters that really don't have much. So, it could be bad. We're knocking them down, though. We're knocking them down, and they are going to get back up again. And, yeah, we won't be able to keep them down. So, here we go. Let's see if I can do something here. Maybe just run into them a little bit with my horse. Try not to get hit in the face. This is gonna be kind of hard. Hopefully I'm not gonna do... I hope my horse doesn't actually deal damage to my own forces. Does it? I just killed one of my own people, because that's what I do. Okay, now I think my guys are actually doing a relatively good job here. I think that additional one-handed... They're actually running. What? Really? What is... what is going on here? Okay. This is kind of interesting. I was really very much thinking that these guys... what is that with my accuracy now? But yeah, I was really thinking that these guys would be all over us. But this is a really, really cool victory because we may in fact get some amazing armor. And indeed, look at this. We can maybe get these guys to join us. We might be able to convince them to join us. That would be pretty fantastic. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to start to get some Baltic Axemen, because these guys actually have one-handed 70, right? Which means that with the 30 bonus, they would have 100, which would be very, very nice. So I think we'll just go with a footman here. There we go. Yes, we didn't get particularly lucky. Unfortunate. Yeah, I was hopeful that we would get either one of their chainmail, helmets or something like that, or maybe even a chest piece. That would be extremely nice, but unfortunately we're not getting anything there. But it's good enough, maybe we'll get the opportunity to fight more of those guys in the future, because very likely, because they were right here, I'm actually thinking maybe we can try and find them again, because there was another band of 13. I felt like we were doing really, really well against them, but I don't know, maybe that was... Oh, okay, yeah, I won't be able to do that. Gonna have to get out of here. Whoa, hello, okay. That's a bit too many. That's a bit too many for my liking. Oh dear, okay, yeah, now we're gonna lose all our money. Yeah, that just has to be. That just has to be the... That's just... I can't do anything about that. I'm not gonna suffer a defeat this early on. That's going to be way too difficult. We did end up losing 2,000 though just now. The Lord hates us. Everyone hates us around here. This is bad. Okay, well, it's okay. It's fine. I don't really mind. Let's go over here. I would like to get more troops actually. Let's just make a brief stopover in the village and then we'll make our way to the town. Alright, so we actually have a significant amount of converted prisoners here. I'm going to obviously get rid of the looters because they don't really do much. I actually don't think they level up into anything, do they? Do they actually level up into anything? Let me actually just check. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, generally they do in the base game, but maybe they don't in this. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't really care right now because my leadership skill is not right there. I need to get veterans respect if I'm going to have any opportunity to level them up anyway, so I'm just going to get rid of them now because I'm not going to use them, and we're otherwise going to be getting some of these guys. Oh, a Baltic young noble, actually. That's nice. I certainly wasn't expecting to get one of these that soon. But yeah, look at that. We've already got one of these guys, which is actually pretty nice. Unfortunately, he's probably going to end up dying because that's just how things go. Cavalry by themselves, not super effective. So it's probably going to be a little bit harsh for him, but that's okay. Now, obviously, we did end up losing quite a lot of money. However, as you can see right here, we're now getting about 4,000, which is really, really nice. And indeed, I would like... Oh yeah, you guessed it. I would like a task. Ooh, unfortunate. Okay, I actually did see that this guy had an escort merchant caravan mission in just a little bit of time ago, and it would have been really, really nice for us to potentially gain the opportunity to do that. But, oh well, never mind. Won't be able to do that this time around. And instead... we are just going to make our way back to the villages where we can actually recruit from. And we'll see... some castle? Wait a minute, I don't have this unlocked. There we go, there we go. We can actually see it now. There are so many random villages around here that I just cannot see for the life of me. Ah, hello. Yes, okay, this is actually perfect. This is a really, really nice battle for us here. I'm actually surprised. Wait a minute. Aren't we fighting against all of them? I thought we were actually fighting against all of them instead of just the 18. Ah, well, I guess we'll just take a look. Maybe we are fighting against the 18. No, we're only fighting against the 18. Okay, I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to fight against all of the looters. That's the reason why I went in there. Because 18 looters versus fighting against like 50, that's a significant difference. So it would have been nice. But I guess... well, yeah, I guess that's not really going to do much. Funnily enough, I can literally just run in here against these looters now. I have a lot more confidence when dealing with looters here in comparison to fighting those Curonians. Because Curonians, yeah, they've got some crazy cool armor on. Looters, on the other hand, not so much, as you can clearly tell. So I can even get out my bow here and actually just level it up a little bit, I suppose. Oh, hello there, sir. Yeah, shot him in the knee. He's not going to be an adventurer anymore. And, oh, nice headshot. Okay, that's very nice. Now, let's just actually see what's going on here. Are they actually running? Are they actually running right now? No, no, no. They're running towards my people. Okay, that is to be expected, of course. Actually, pretty nice reload speed that we have here. Not too bad. Surprisingly so. And we're leveling up our bows pretty nicely, surprisingly enough. I don't know. As I say, I'm not... I don't know. I'm not sure what I expected. To be honest, I'm not sure what I expected. Because I was thinking to myself, oh, RBM, you know, RBM's going to make bows really, really hard to use. Actually, no. I don't know. I guess it's been a long time. I think it's been years since I've actually played with RBM with a bow. So, you know, because I have used RBM beforehand, but I think I used it with some other loadout. I definitely didn't... I haven't used bows in years either, I don't think. I don't really remember the last time I used it. So, really makes a huge difference, actually. But there you go. All right, that was a very, very easy fight. That is exactly the reason why I actually wanted to go in against more of them. But look at this. Look at this. Massive amounts of relations in the area here. I absolutely love having relations with all these people. It's, yeah, I know. Sorry, I had to. Okay, I had to make that joke. All right. Ooh, very nice wine. Look at that. Technically, the base value of this wine is 2,875. Obviously, it isn't going to sell for that because my trade skill is absolutely abysmal. But we could potentially get maybe around 500, 400 for it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a little bit more. Can we get these guys? Yes, we can actually get these guys. Okay, this is actually kind of perfect. Pretty much going in against all these guys is going to make so much difference. I feel like what we need to do, though, is I need to use some formations a little bit more. So I think what we're going to do is going to set these guys into a shield wall formation, despite the fact that this is absolutely useless, pointless, you know, a pointless exercise, to be honest. The only reason why I'm doing it is to get tactic skill. That's it. I'm just trying to get some tactic skill level ups, and hopefully that's going to help us out. I am going to try and snipe some of these people. Ooh, yeah, I've got to get much better. Oh, it's actually kind of cool the way that it arcs. I like the arrow arcing. It's pretty fun. But yeah, I'm going to have to get used to that from range because obviously the way that base game Bannerlord works, completely different. Wow, okay, yeah. I'm going to have to get used to that. Nice. Okay, there's a nice little headshot right there. Obviously, we're very close here. This is a very close range firing. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to leave my guys in shield wall. My archers at the back there. My cavalry guy, I'm not even going to bother sending him in just in case. Even though, despite the fact that he probably would be completely fine. I'm just going to be careful with it, okay? Just going to be careful with it. And as you can see, we are actually not doing too badly here. I was kind of hoping that we'd get some tactic skill from this. With them fighting in a formation, I thought that would be relatively decent level up, but apparently that doesn't do anything. Oh, that's great. Maybe I needed to tell them to charge in or something like that, or command them a little bit more than that. But look at the relation increases. This is exactly the reason why I'm doing this, by the way. I'm not doing this for nothing. I am actually doing this to gain relation in the area, despite the fact that obviously I am going to need to, you know, speak to the leader or the owner of this particular village or the villages nearby. So for example, if we go in here, I don't think, yeah, I haven't met these guys before, so I'm just going to spend 150. I could give him some slaves. Does he actually? Oh yeah, we get relation when doing this, don't we? Yeah, we get relation when doing this. And we also get some roguery skill. Oh, that is a very nice relation increase. We only gave him 7. So I'm thinking to myself, actually, yeah. So this is another reason why this mod is actually really, really cool, because there is a heavy emphasis on relationships. And I'm just talking about, I mean, this is just some random guy in a random village somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. But yet, having relation with him is going to make a huge difference to you being able to recruit. Obviously, I am going to need to speak to the guy, Treniota? Where is he? That's the question. I'm going to need to go and speak to him, or I'm going to need to try and find him. I wonder whether I can find him now. There's no way, right? Yeah, there's no way. Okay, I'm going to have to go. You know what? Now that we have a little bit of money, I think I'm going to take the plunge, all right? We're going to take the plunge, and we're going to do a little bit of something here in the form of going into the tavern and asking the tavern keeper where his daughter is. No, I mean, sorry, where all of the people are. Where all of the people are that we need to speak to. Yes. We can also visit the bath. I actually don't know what that does. Shall we try it? You feel refreshed and clean after the bath. Okay. Does that... Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe that has an impact. Maybe it has an impact on something or other. Maybe it will. Okay, so there's a musician. Wait a minute. I just need to find... Who is this? Is this a companion?
So who are you then?
This is a companion. Wait a minute. I'm gonna need to take a look at this guy. This guy's Swedish. Okay, I'm okay. First of all, I'm actually wondering whether I can be picky when it comes to companions. Because this guy has really, really good stats. As you can see right here, he has 129 in Steward and 128 in Engineering. I'm not sure if I can be picky when it comes to companions like this. Yes, he is a zealous follower of Catholicism, which is obviously slightly problematic if we are going to be working together. So I'm actually thinking that maybe we cannot even do it. I think religion actually has a much bigger impact than we think at the moment in this mod. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to say no to him right now. Despite the fact that he is a good companion. He's a great companion. It would be fantastic if we could get him. But probably not right now, right? Okay, so I'm going to say this. There we go. Massive. Look at that. Massive amounts of information right there. Really, really useful. And can you tell me about nearby settlements? And as you can see, he's going to mark all of them on our map, which is very, very useful. I'm looking for some people with certain skills. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind a good quartermaster. Yeah, obviously, it was two gold well spent. Not actually, not really, because he was standing right next to me. I find that quite funny, actually, because that tavern keeper literally just... That is the funniest situation. The tavern keeper literally just saw us speaking to Marcus, and then he was like, yeah, that guy over there, that guy's name is Marcus, and he's really good. He's a really good quartermaster. Maybe you should speak to him. Even though I just saw you speaking to him just 2 moments ago. And it's going to be 2 gold. Oh, I think that's quite funny. Alright, so yeah, anyway. I am going to speak to Treniota. I just need to figure out where he is. So, let's see. Okay, where is he? He's actually the chieftain. Ah. Wow, he's got some good stats. Relatively good stats, at least. Okay, so, Lahoisk. Lahoisk, where are you? Where are you, Lahoisk? Is he actually on a raid or something like that? Is he actually going to war somewhere? Because I don't see it right now. Am I stupid? Maybe. Maybe I don't have it. Do I have it marked on the map? That's the question. I might not even have... Oh no, if I don't have it marked on the map, that's going to be kind of harsh. I think I don't. Nope. Nope, I do not. Yeah, as you can see, some village. And there's also some village over there. Okay, gotta fight these looters first of all. Because why not? And I'd like to level my bow skill some more. I actually find it super fun using the bow right now. And yeah, it's probably going to change very dramatically once we're up against some people with shields. But we did face those Curonians and actually had a pretty good time. I feel like we didn't really do too badly, you know, managing to shoot them past their shields. Because, I mean, the fact is, generally, I think RBM and I think this mod in general do make... I'm not sure if they've tweaked the hitboxes at all, but it feels... They feel a lot tighter in regards to bows and stuff like that. Maybe the base game has done something to it. Because I am using the very latest version of the game. It's 1.4.7 at the moment, and that's what the mod needs. And we're actually getting some bow skill. You know, funnily enough, I hit much more often than I miss, but yet whenever I miss, I gain more skill. It feels like I gain more skill. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to do some random firing here. Just try to increase my fire rate a little bit. Ugh. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should just try to be as accurate as possible. It's probably going to make sense. It's probably going to make more sense. Nice damage right there. Yeah, shall we go in for some damages? For a little bit of damage? Yeah, some really nice damage there. I've got to be a little bit careful of the pole arms, obviously, still. They are still deadly, and they could still absolutely slaughter me. So, yeah, probably want to be a little bit careful there. And I'm going to tell my forces to charge in. Let's do it. These guys are all scattered in and around the area, so shouldn't be too bad for our forces to head in now. Ugh. That was a shot and a half, wasn't it? But yeah, we shot that guy in the neck. It's actually kind of nice that, well, I guess there was that one time where, whoops, I actually shot that guy. Whoopsie, sorry about that. Anyway, it was actually kind of nice. And I was going to say, when we get headshots, people actually die. However, in the previous battle with the Curonians, or, you know, one of the previous battles with the Curonians, we actually headshot someone in the face, and we only did like 9 damage. So I guess it just depends on if they have a helmet or not, I suppose. But yeah, look at the amount. Look at this. The amount of relation gain that we're getting right now is incredibly good. And we're also having the ability to now recruit those Curonians into our party. Absolutely perfect. Very, very nice. That's going to significantly increase our overall combat strength. Because if you recall, you know, with only 13 of them in their party, the Curonians were a match for us, for sure. They just had very low morale, as far as I could tell. Their morale was super, super low, so it was a very easy thing for us to dominate the battlefield in that situation. So I think that's generally something that we also have to consider. Okay, so wait a minute. Yeah, so there are some villages around here as well. I don't know where Lohoisk is. I'm sorry. I am not very familiar with geography, if it is actually a place still, even in this time, because obviously it's like, what, 800 years, 700 years later, or something like that. So yeah. Anyway, we may... Should I just look it up? Should I just look it up online? No, do I really want to do that? No, I don't really want to do that, because I kind of feel like that ruins the experience, because obviously... Fog of War. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It depends, I guess, if you are, yeah, I don't know, wanting to have an immersive experience. Because, to be fair, if you are a Baltic citizen, as Bruce is at this point, would you know where every single village is? Maybe? It depends. It depends, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where every single village is in England, so I don't know. I don't know. It's, I guess it just depends. I guess it just depends. If you're a traveling trader, then yeah, you're probably gonna know. Nice. Oh, no. Come on now. Nice headshot. Okay, can we get to 100? I think we can. Wow, getting headshot after headshot right here. I feel like I should get more bow skill for that. There we go. Nice. There's the 100. Wow. Super fun, actually. Super fun to use a bow. It's very, very enjoyable. Obviously, as I said, these guys don't have shields. So, yeah, I mean, you know, let's just withhold judgment for a little bit, shall we? Because I have a bad feeling that as soon as we start going up against people, you know, I should probably go into Curonian territory in just a second as well, because we have, well, we have quite a significant force now. So would I be able to? I don't know whether I'd be able to deal with them, to be honest, because they were running around with like what armies of 15, 16. Not sure. Maybe we would be able to handle it, dependent on the morale of the opponent, because we had a number of the enemies literally just run away from us, which really made a huge difference, of course. Let's go and pray. Let's go and pray again. Let's try to be a zealous follower of Baltic paganism as best as we can here, at least. Cruvius Linus does not really like us that much. I mean, we got +1 with him. But yes. Okay, so we do have another village. Where is it? I thought it was... No, actually, wait a minute. It was over here, wasn't it? Yeah, it's over there. Okay, so the question is, can I find Lahoysk? The search for Lahoysk. Is that the name of this episode? Probably not. Ah, hello, Curonian Raiders. Do you actually want to fight me? I wouldn't be adverse to it. I'm going to get that deserter to join us as well. That would probably be quite useful. Okay, so do we want 5 party size, or do we want minus 30% accuracy penalty using bows while mounted? Am I a horse archer? Yes. So mounted archery is going to be the thing. Thanks very much. And let's go in here against these guys. Or my pathfinding is going to say no. Did you see that? That was hilarious. You better not get onto a ship now. You better not get onto a ship. No, there we go. Okay. I was kind of worried about that for a real quick second. I thought to myself, really? Are they going to get on a ship? Do these guys have a vessel? And no, they don't. So that is nice. 7 skill points and 5 focus points are enough to reach 275. Yeah, I really wish they'd reworked that in this mod, but no. I kind of wish that... yeah, it was like 6 attribute points. That would have been quite nice. But anyway, we've got 31 infantry. Most of them are trash. So yes, it is going to be maybe a little bit bothersome here. But I will try to be as annoying as possible to our opponents. But obviously the problem is they have their own weapons. Oh, that was a nice hit. Unfortunately, not good enough. That was kind of sad. What is going on here? Are you serious? Oh man. Okay, that was... Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I hit that guy in the heel. If only he was Achilles. Oh no. He would have had some hard times right there. Okay, yeah, well this is a bit of a problem. I do not want to get hit by one of these javelins, because if they hit me in the face, I will be dead. Yeah, I'm just being careful here. Just being very, very careful, despite the fact that the opponent is very close by to our forces now. Ugh. I have a bad feeling about this. No. Try to remain on the move. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's get out a one-handed for a real quick second. We need to do a little bit of something maybe. No, don't want to get hit. Don't want to get hit. Ow. Yeah, okay, we killed one of them already. That's pretty decent. Let's try and jump here. Nice. There's another one. Okay. Okay, tell these guys to charge in. I believe we should be okay. Should be okay to charge in here. Maybe not the best idea, but I'm going to try it. Oh, actually pretty nice damage right here. Surprisingly so, despite the fact that they do have some great... Whoa, did you see that? My shield just crumpled because of this guy's javelin throw. Yeah, my weapon really needs to... I need to get a... maybe I do need to get a different weapon. Obviously, RBM very much favors piercing damage, maybe even blunt damage to a certain degree as well, because they have high penetration values. But Yeah, at the moment, slashing weapon is not the thing. That is certainly not something that we really want. But it's all I've got right now. It's all I've got, so I've got to make it work. All right, so Axemen, nice. Our first Baltic Axemen have now joined us. That's nice. That is going to be very, very useful for us. And here we go. We actually have some axes. The question is, are these axes going to be any good? I am going to use the Nordic decorated Taj, I suppose. Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. I guess it's kind of good. Let's see what else there is here. No. Okay. So the question is, do we want to use this? I mean, at the moment, the Star Falchion, the only reason why I feel like this is insanely good for us right now is because it is a one-handed with 110 reach. How can I say no to 110 reach, right? Especially for a one-handed. Very, very difficult to find something similar to that effect. So I'm kind of like, you know, moved into that kind of area where I'm just like, yeah, I can't really replace it, because if we go for an axe, then the reach of that thing is literally going to be, well, it's going to be terrible. So yeah, not a big fan of that. Okay, so where would Lohoisk actually be? I kind of wish I had spoken to the tavern keeper in those other places and asked for the nearby settlements, because that's a really efficient way of uncovering the map. There is another village over here. Maybe it's over there. Maybe I should literally just, I don't know, spend time in and around the area here and just hope that we pass him by. Maybe he's going to be in the area anyway. You know? Let's see. Maybe he's actually going to be in a different place now. He's now near Rogachev. Rogachev. Where is that? I do not know, as you can quite clearly see. It's maybe over here. Okay, I have a feeling they're attacking. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to find him, I don't think, in this episode. That would be... It would have been nice. It would have been nice, but yes, clearly not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to go back to the town here, and we're just going to do our thing. As you can see, I need to speak to this guy super badly, because being able to get relation with him... Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. I might have a plan for this, maybe. I'm actually not entirely sure, because the thing is, we will need personal relation with him, I think, rather than clan relation. Is that true? I actually don't know. But yeah, never mind. These people are not part of his clan. The people that are passing me by right now are not part of his clan. So I was kind of hoping, or maybe surmising, that if we were to do a task for one of the vassals in the area here, maybe they would be a part of his clan, and we'd be able to increase our relation with the clan itself. However, I do think that personal relation is more important in this mod. I think that they kind of specify that. So we do need to be a little bit more, shall we say, a little bit more tactical about it. But yeah, I'm going to sell everything. Look at that, 10,000. Actually, extremely, extremely useful. I'm thinking right now that we're probably going to end up buying... let me see here. Used for carrying goods. Yeah, I don't really want to purchase any horses here, if at all possible. Maybe some things to carry some stuff. But I don't think I can really afford... I don't know. I could increase my speed quite dramatically by doing this. Let me just see. Wow, that's a lot. Not a terribly big fan of increasing it by that much. Okay, I'm going to get one more. There. And that's going to get me 1.7. What about another one? Barely. Barely anything. Okay, fine. We'll just get 3. Why not? We'll just get 3 and that will be it. And we'll have... Now we have, look at that, 16,000 in cash. Actually, really, really nice. Okay, so the question is there a town nearby that I can go to? Yes. There is a town nearby that I can go to. So we're going to make our way up there. And we're going to ask, again, the tavern keeper, you know, we're going to ask him anything about the nearby fiefs in the area. And we'll maybe get really lucky and find where Mr. Triniota is. We might get lucky. Oh, caravan ambush. Oh, I like that. I am one of those people that really, really likes the caravan ambush. I think it's probably one of the most efficient tasks in the entire game because you start this thing, you immediately just go straight on over to the location, you fight someone for experience and prisoners and loot and all that wonderful stuff, and then you're done, and then you're out of there.
Right.
Ah, hello there. This is another companion. Okay, wait a second. What is she? She's also Swedish. Okay, well that's kind of annoying. She does not have any stats. So apparently her stats are really bad, from what I can tell there. And here's Walter. Hello there. Let's have a look. He is German and he is also a Catholic. I think it's going to be a bit problematic for me to find Baltic companions, but I will try. Ah, hello. No, this guy's Polish. Okay, yeah, I should have known. You can probably tell from the name, can't you? So yeah, no, that's not going to really work. Oh dear. I like the fact that the companions are not actually...
Right. So
I don't think they're actually accessible on the... Yeah, they're not actually accessible on the tavern menu, as far as I can tell, at least, which actually increases the realism factor, which I actually quite like. Usually I wouldn't, but I actually quite like that. Okay, so can you tell me about the nearby settlements? Really? That's it? 3? Are you serious? I'm looking for information about the owner of this town. Yes. There we go. Massive amounts of information there. I kind of wish there was a messenger system, but obviously in 1259, I'm not entirely sure if they would have... Well, I don't know. Would they have messengers and stuff like that? Would they send... I don't know. Would they? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I have no idea about this time in history, so... You know... maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe they have carrier pigeons. Maybe they have email. Yeah, they definitely have email, right? Anyway, let's just see if there's... yeah, wow, this is actually pretty crazy. Okay, so if I... Yeah. Okay, you know what? This is a bit too much exploration, and it's kind of boring for you, I suppose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this episode off here, and hopefully by the next episode I will have gone to every single one of these little villages and castles and so on and so forth, and then we'll be at this town, and we'll try and see if we can explore some more of the map. As you can see, the map is actually insanely huge. If I can go everywhere. I actually don't know whether I can even go everywhere. I assume I can. Yeah, I assume I can go all the way over here. That would be pretty crazy. Going into, you know, Hungary and various other places. I'm not going to try to say the names. But yes, I thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.